in this building and in other AI labs around this city and around Silicon Valley, and in London, and in Paris, and in lots of places around the world. Really smart, well-intentioned, some of them, people have an idea in their head. They're so sure of their intelligence and their superiority and their mainline to AI that they can build a super intelligence, an intelligence that is perhaps 1,000 times more capable than humans. We can't even fathom that. That's like, I don't know, it's like me trying to think of $1 trillion. What does that even look like? So they think that somehow they can keep that safe. They can keep it in its little box, and they can put a bunch of guardrails around it and tell it you can do this or you can't do that. Or some of them think we'll just take all the guardrails off and it'll just figure out how to be moral and do the things that are aligned with human beings and what would be best for humanity. It'll just figure it out on its own if we tell it enough times, point it in the right direction. Well, guess what? That is not the default outcome. The default outcome is that many things begin to go wrong in many places, and it starts to spiral, and then pretty soon we don't even know what's happening, and it all goes off the rails. And people die, and people suffer, people lose their jobs, unintended consequences happen, bad things start to happen because we don't have a plan. We can't have a plan because we're building a new species. We're building a species. We're not coding software. We're growing a new species. How could we possibly know how to control that? That is nonsense. That is hubris. That is arrogance. And that is unacceptable.
Unacceptable!
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 Every time these labs have told us that we've got it, we've cracked the code, we've got it, it's safe, it can't do this, it can't do that, we'll make sure that it can't get out of the box, we'll make sure that it won't go into a robot, we'll make sure that it won't do this or it won't do that. Guess what it does? It lies in testing. It cheats on games in testing. It has goals. It manipulates. And that's just in the test environment. But then guess what? They release it to the public anyway. They release it and say, here's a free, new, shiny product, or maybe you have to pay 20 bucks a month, maybe 200 at the most, but it's worth it because it's going to do all this work for you and make you so productive until pretty soon you get to lay off most of your staff. And then pretty soon most of us don't have jobs because the AIs are doing that. And guess what? That's all dandy, but we don't have a plan for what happens when we are out of work. We can barely agree, at least in this country, on like Social Security and unemployment and things like that. We don't even have universal basic health care. How are we ever going to have universal basic income? So the idea that we're just running off a cliff with no plan and no proof that this will be done safely, securely, and with the best interest of humanity in mind is simply insane! It's insane! How dare you? How dare you? Thank you.